Mark D'Amato is salivating for a shot at embarrassing Kenneth Logue and his new Sundogs.
You are going down.
And Tim Washington's mad.
Logue, I'm gonna rip your arms off and beat your Sundogs into oblivion.
After the Sundogs' dismal rebirth against the Riot, Logue seems oddly optimistic.
Well, we did struggle in our first outing, but I believe we've overcome our growing pains.
In fact, he's eerily confident.
I have more than a few surprises for Mark D'Amato.
But the impressive Enforcers squad are still the team to beat, and D'Amato's hell-bent on making Logue disappear permanently.
Logue is an idiot. I'm smarter than he is. I'm running the league.
Mark D'Amato's chatter has become a bore. As Mother used to say, I am a Logue. Hear me roar.
It's D'Amato's Enforcers versus Logue's Sundogs, next on Roller Jam. Beautiful Universal Studios here in Orlando, Florida. This is Roller Jam from Roller Jam Arena. Hi, everybody. I'm Rory Marcus along with Leah Hawk Rearman. Tonight, the New York Enforcers and the Florida Sundogs. Should be a great game tonight, Hawk. The Enforcers do not have Janet Abraham anymore. She's gone over to the Sundogs. As a matter of fact, she actually likes Kenneth Logue's style with the Sundogs. He has a very clear vision of right and wrong, and whether you agree with it or not, Janet Abraham appears that she does.
Well, she may be the only person in the World Skating League that likes this Kenneth Logue fella, but for once in a long time, we're seeing a little bit of disarray with the New York Enforcers. Mark D'Amato, he rules with an iron fist, but we've seen in recent weeks that he may be losing a little bit of his old luster. And I tell you what, these Enforcer people without a head like Mark D'Amato with full control, they might be in trouble, Rory.
He got rid of Janet Abraham, literally fired her. D'Amato and Washington, though, on the track, they still are as tough as anything. As long as you have these two guys, look out.
How is it to have a backup guy like Tim Washington to protect you when you're running your mouth all the time? Well, Mark D'Amato has that. These two guys, no matter what you say about them, they always have a way to get it done and get it done ugly.
The Sundog style is to play clean and hard, but don't fight. And it's getting them hurt in some occasions.
Well, here you see two of the Riot, Robles and Little Richard Brown, going after Captain America, giving him the 1-2 punch. And if you remember, the last time we saw these Sundogs, which was the first game under the tutelage of Kenneth Logue, he ejected Posse Shalene, who was having a wonderful game because he wasn't playing in his style. This guy gives no quarter, asks no quarter. You got to question how long Captain America can take that kind of punishment and how many times he can throw out a great player like Posse Shalene.
Logue probably has his team standing in alphabetical order, ready to skate onto the track. Let's check it out. The fireworks blast off, and first of all, the Enforcers get onto the track.
What a far cry these Enforcer women are of seasons past, Roy. The Sisters of Suffering are no more. Karen Magnuson, the one remnant left, she's coming back from injury. Janet Abraham's playing for the other team.
Never thought we'd see Abraham with the Sundogs, but then again, I never thought anybody would skate out here with a baseball bat in their hands either. And there he is, the big nasty.
Well, I can promise you one thing, I am not taking it away from him, my brother.
D'Amato, remember now, Kenneth Logue accused him of skimming about $400,000 from the Players Fund. Now D'Amato finally gets a chance to settle things on the track.
I don't think he's spitting on hair care products.
That's a safe bet, I'm sure. Here come the Sundog women, and so Janet Abraham is on the track. There she is. She's embraced Logue's style of play, and so has Patsy Delgado.
Karen Magnuson's going to have her hands full with both Delgado and Abraham in those Sundog uniforms, Roy. That's a lot of woman to be coming at you.
And here comes a man coming at you right now. The Florida Sundog men and Bill Barker, Captain America, pointing to the seats, smiling. And what's going on here? I guess Logue is coming in through the back door.
What the heck is that thing walking in last?
I don't know. I guess it's a bodyguard of some kind. In fact, here comes Logue, and indeed, it seems he has quite a few bodyguards.
For the first time in a while, I'm not the ugliest guy in the building, Rory.
Well, Kenneth Logue, with it would appear to be brethren from the ECW.
We'll take care of all the business. They don't have to do it.
There are some people we've never seen in Roller Jam before. You can barely see Kenneth Logue. Let's try and find out what the heck's going on here. Broadway Danny Wolf, you're in a tough spot.
Definitely a tough spot. Kenneth Logue, I gotta ask you, who are these guys? Are they your bodyguards?
Actually, Daniel, my friends at the network informed me that Roller Jam has made some big fans among the wrestlers of the ECW. So, as a courtesy to our network brethren, I've invited these gentlemen here today to observe a match with me from down at track level.
Well, Axel Rotten, I know you. I mean, you're one of the craziest psycho hardcore wrestlers there ever was. Who are these other ECW wrestlers?
Roller Jam, are you ready to get extreme? Because ECW's in the house. We're talking the greatest technical wrestler, Little Guido, the best big man in the business, Big Show, one of the toughest son of a guns I've ever met. Skull's here. I got the judge and the best referee. And you know me, I'm a hardcore chair swinging freak, and we're here to take care of business. Nothing's gonna get out of line, because ECW's in the house to take care of business.
Let me ask you, Kenneth. Hey, Kenneth, you know with D'Amato, D'Amato and Washington, and all these guys, how can you avoid the fighting? I mean, look, these guys are ready to get it on with anybody.
You and the fans know me as a man of my word, Daniel. My Sundogs will continue to skate clean and hard. They won't cheat, they won't fight, they won't bend the rules. Now, as far as these gentlemen are concerned, they're not on my payroll. Who knows what they might do?
Are they going to stay with you out here the whole game?
They're my guests, Daniel. They're free to be on the track.
One's got to think that Washington and D'Amato right now are shaking in their skates. Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
Roller Rules, brought to you by Dial 1-800-AT&T for collect calls.
There are 4 6-minute periods. The women skate periods 1 and 3. The men skate periods 2 and 4. There are 5 skaters per team, 2 jammers and 3 blockers. The blockers wear white helmets. The jammers have the black helmet with the stripe. Points are scored when jammers lap opposing team members. Here's an example of what I was just talking about. The jammer for the green team breaks out from the pack and circles the track. For each member of the red team that he or she passes, 1 point is earned.
Karen Magnuson back from that injury. A lot here in the World Skating League think that her injury and her absence is why the enforcers may have gotten soft. And Janet Abraham, let's see how she fills in that Sundog uniform and if she really falls in line with the Kenneth Logue attitude.
And we're ready to go. Period number 1. Let's hope the ECW guys just mind their own business and stay quiet in the infield. Although Broadway Danny Wolf had his neck adjusted there.
We don't got to feed those guys right here, do we?
I hope not. We don't have that much money. Here we go. The first jam of the night. Adrian Medrano gets knocked out of there. And Suzanne Chalene, Kathy Evangelo for the Florida Sundogs trying to get on the scoreboard early. Christine Cosson is jamming for the New York Enforcers. Boy, how about Logue? He talks about a throwback to the old days and how great it would be if everybody skated clean, and then he brings out 5 or 6 monsters to stand with him in the infield. Here's Suzanne Chalene looking to pick up the first points of the game. Patsy Delgado goes back to assist. She whispers something to Suzanne. And they come up on April Tootle. It's a whip. Delgado got the whip. She puts down Tootle, and the points for Chalene. She only got 1, but the Sundogs get the first point of the game.
And Suzanne Chalene as Axel Rotten. I don't know if he's going to go out in a jam. That looks kind of like a deck chair on the Queen Mary, that helmet on his head. But Suzanne Chalene and Posse Chalene, they are the cleanest of the clean, and they seem to be thriving in this environment that's instilled, the clean environment of Kenneth Logue III, Rory.
I don't think they make 4 extra large helmets. That's what Axel would need, isn't it?
You know what that means.
Here we go. 1-0. The Sundogs lead this game, and there goes for the first time tonight Karen Magnuson out there. Magnuson back from an injury. Kara Friedman is the, I think, overmatched Sundog jammer with Courtney Barlow and Karen Magnuson, a couple of very experienced jammers. And guess what? I got one right.
And we're about to see the reunion of Karen Magnuson and Janet Abraham. It just so happens that the Sisters of Suffering have different uniforms on, Rory.
Look at Janet Abraham against her old teammates in that big number 14 in yellow. She didn't like working with D'Amato. She much prefers the Logue style, if you can believe that. But so far, she's done a good job. Courtney Barlow goes down. Now Magnuson will try her luck. She jumps on the back of Janet Abraham and picked up, I think, 1.
No score!
No, they didn't give it to her.
What's she doing, Rory? She said she's going to play clean.
Let's go.
She held her temper in check, even though Magnuson was challenging her. These are security guys that Logue has out here.
If they send any more of these guys over here, we're going to be over our fire code limit for people in the building, Rory.
Look at those cats in there. ECW wrestlers, and I guess Logue feels safe. Adrian Medrano leading the jam out for the New York Enforcers. After her goes Kathy Evangelo, and Evangelo went right by her. Logue was yelling out, obey the rules a minute ago to Janet Abraham. Patsy Delgado puts down April Toodle, allowing Evangelo to get by. And then gets a shove in the back from Toodle.
Knock it off. Get moving. Let's go. Go after it. Let's go. Go. Knock it off. Let's go. Get moving.
Well, you wonder how long that Logue can keep the likes of Patsy Delgado and Janet Abraham under wraps, but April Toodle, don't tell her that these guys are under wraps because her helmet and her face went right into the track, but these guys got a little bit of fire under them, and I just think that Patsy Delgado, similar to what we saw in games past with Sean Atkinson trying to, I guess, succumb to the wishes of his psychologist or psychiatrist, I just don't think you can harness the anger and the aggression of people like Patsy Delgado and Janet Abraham.
2-0 in favor of the Sundogs. Just watching Kenneth Logue down there. He's yelling at his team. Who is supposed to be out on that jam?
Well, there's so many people and so much beef in the infield, you can't really see too much if you're down there in between some of those guys.
That's for sure. They had a little confusion on the Sundog bench, which is unsettling to Coach Logue. And here go the jammers for the New York Enforcers. That's number 18, Christine Cosson, along with Faith Urban. And they picked up a couple. Oh, look at that. Somebody just got dumped over the rail. It's Delgado.
Get moving.
I'll say it again. I don't know how long she'll put up with that kind of treatment without fighting back, Rory.
There was 2 black points.
Broadway Danny Wolf has had his hands full in the infield all day. Let's see what he's got now, Danny.
Axel Rotten, so far, what do you think of the action out here?
Sometimes Roller Jam looks like it gets more extreme than ECW. These guys are crazy, but let me tell you, Enforcers, we're going to keep you guys in line. I got stuff to take care of.
D'Amato's just trying to turn his back to all of this. Wait till he gets out on the track. We'll see if the peace-loving Logue is true to his word with all these ECW guys out here. It's a 2-2 tie. The game, as far as scoring is concerned, off to a slow start, and jammers out for both sides now. Courtney Barlow and Karen Magnuson are the jammers for the Enforcers, and once again, they send Evangelo down. Now they have Suzanne Chalene to worry about. 2-on-1, the advantage for the Enforcers. Chalene, though, outsteps Magnuson there. Abraham's back to block, and that lets Chalene get by. Here, Courtney Barlow again having the tough duty of trying to get around Janet Abraham. Oh, Suzanne Chalene just stuck by on the inside and called off the jam. Nice move. Great skating by Suzanne Chalene.
1 black.
Chalene got 3 points. Courtney Barlow gets 1. And Janet Abraham back to her old ways a little bit there. And a handshake from Patsy Delgado. Well, the men are coming up next. Mark D'Amato will try to embarrass Kenneth Logue's Sundogs with Bill Parker standing in his way. It won't be easy. Broadway Danny Wolf in the infield with Coach Logue and Janet Abraham. Go ahead, Broadway.
Thanks, Rory. Kenneth, you guys said you were 1 big skater away from being a contender. Well, you got your big skater in Janet Abraham.
We're thrilled, and who wouldn't be thrilled to have a skater of this caliber on their team? Janet's talents are virtually obscured on the Enforcers. She has a chance to blossom here in the Sundogs.
You know, Danny, I just want to tell you and all the fans out there, I'm so happy to be a Sundog. I could just kiss you.
Oh, gee.
Ew.
Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
Danny's had an interesting day, hasn't he? A kiss from Janet Abraham and a roughing up from some ECW wrestlers.
Well, if Big Sal starts kissing him, I'm leaving the building. Someone who loves being in the building with Kenneth Logue is Captain America, Bill Barker. He just loves his play clean, play hard attitude. And Mark D'Amato, I don't know if the ECW guys are going to get after him, but it sure would be fun to watch because Mark D'Amato sure does bring it just like they do.
And the jam is on. The Sundogs have a 5-3 lead. The only one that successfully got out was Rocky Bowman. Everybody else wound up on their backs. You know, Bowman has a similar skating style, I think, to Posse Chalene in a way. And we see both of them out on the track now.
Well, they're both pretty big. Some of the smaller skaters in the World Skating League are very fast, but don't have a lot of size. Bowman and Chalene have both, Rory.
Bill Barker goes back, and Bowman tries to get by him again. He's going to get a little assist, I think, from Mark D'Amato here. Mark says, follow me, Rocky. I'll do it. I'll send those left arms into some people's backs and break up that pack for you. And Bowman goes right through there and gets the points. And D'Amato has a bunch of ECW wrestlers looking down at him.
He might have got the points, but he almost lit a fire under our 2 tons of fun in the infield.
Let's go.
The Enforcers got the points, and D'Amato will not be intimidated.
He wanted to throw down.
7-5. The Enforcers now lead this game. D'Amato and Barker battling in front of the pack. The 2 big guys trying to help their jammers get out, and the whip comes for Gary Lockamy. Gary Lockamy's out there, and he's getting a chance to jam. Now remember, Sam Martin is hurt. He's in the infield with a crutch. Gina Lombardo's hurt, so the Sundogs are just a bit banged up right now. Fred Eichhorn for the Enforcers gets out there with Lockamy, and who's going to get the better of this one? Eichhorn almost went into the rail. Big Tim Washington goes back and holds up that right arm. First time we've seen him do anything tonight. And he's all out over Lockamy. Eichhorn slips by as Washington grabs Lockamy around the neck. He's going for the legs. He's going for whatever he can get. And he sends him down.
One yellow. 2 black, 1 yellow.
Well, the only thing fortunate for Lockamy there was that Tim Washington put down the baseball bat. Well, Tim Washington, I don't know what you call this move. It looks like he's loading groceries into his truck at the supermarket, and we know he can eat a lot.
These guys are supposed to be guarding Logue. So what the heck are they doing yelling at skaters? Maybe Logue wasn't quite forthright with what he said they were here for.
As long as they're not up here yelling at us, Rory, I think we're doing something right. If we talk real soft, maybe they won't hear us.
You've been known to invite people into the booth, Hawk. What's wrong with those guys?
Yeah, but the card girls already turned me down 4 times.
Sigmund Williams for the Enforcers, and that's John Morrissey who just took a seat. Sigmund Williams for the Sundogs gets out there. Now he gets on those fast skates and encounters D'Amato, who got knocked out of the play. Williams waiting for the assist, and he gets it from Sean Marshall. Marshall doing a good job on that pack as Sigmund Williams calls off the jam.
Well, these Sundogs have some horses. Speaking of horses, Mark D'Amato.
This is right in front of the Sundog bench, by the way.
He usually runs the stable. He's going after Sigmund Williams.
Get in the box. Get in the box. Get in the box.
And Mark D'Amato, I'm not sure if we're going to see what caused the penalty, but the Sundog setup was almost like a Wall Street with Captain America in there. Lays the boom on Mark D'Amato. But after the play, this is what precipitated the penalty. D'Amato goes directly after Sigmund Williams.
He even sent a left hand into Sean Corbin.
You think Sean Corbin would prefer bringing up a fight between Stacy Blitch and Suzanne Chalene than D'Amato and Williams?
I think that's a pretty simple question to answer. Who wouldn't? 10-9 the score. The Sundogs lead this game. We're in the second period with the men on the track. Halftime coming up, then the women will be out for the third period. Enforcer jammer J.R. Widener gets out there, and a whip to Posse Chalene. Last time we saw him, he ripped his shirt off, got in a fight, and Logue suspended him for the rest of the game. Now Posse, who was having a great game up to that point, goes after Widener and rips into him. They both go down.
Well, this is the first time we've seen him out as a jammer. I'm surprised. Maybe Logue said, look, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I threw you out of the last game, and I'm going to keep you in the pack as a blocker for the first couple of jams. Now he might be saying, well, what the heck? The guy can skate. I need some points.
Logue's definitely into teaching lessons, that's for sure. Here comes Posse Shalane, and he's up against Big Tim Washington. Caution stickers and all. Washington rips it. Oh! Bill Barker takes care of Washington. The ECW guys say, oh, yeah, that's okay. As long as the Sundogs do it, it's all right.
It was like a stealth mission. Our camera angle, doing it live, we really couldn't see where he came from. Well, Tim Washington saw where he came from, or at least he saw where he'd been. He saw that big Captain America vapor trail. Well, this is his signature move. Bill Barker, not to be confused with Bob Barker. The price is right at any place, and these guys are going crazy on the ECW guys.
Little Guido thought that was just fine.
Which one's Little Guido?
The little one. 12-9. Little Guido wants to see you about a little matter a little later on tonight, if that's all right.
I'll just say yes, sir, and no, sir.
Sigmund Williams trips up Rocky Bowman. And Sigmund Williams, who has great speed, this is really Logue's type of skater, gets out there now to try and add to the lead. This is the last jam of the first half.
But laying in wait is D'Amato, who's taking his helmet off, who was beating on Sigmund Williams just moments ago, Rory.
D'Amato throws his helmet into the infield and gets ready to block.
Oh!
But he missed him. Sigmund slips down. Sometimes he's too fast for his own good. Now he's back up on those skates and going after Washington. And around him he goes. He's picked up 2. Now 3. Sigmund Williams putting on a skating clinic. D'Amato tried to get him and missed him again. He calls it off, but what a jam for Sigmund Williams and the Sundogs. D'Amato's in a bad mood. Williams is happy. And it sure is good to see the ECW guys in a good mood.
Speaking of bad moods, D'Amato, who's always in a bad mood, just got into a worse one. He's always in a fight, and he just got into a bigger one. Who's this guy?
Enough, right?
He's arena security, the guy in the black t-shirt. And we need some more security around here with everything that's happening with the wrestlers and the skaters.
That's good.
ECW wrestlers on hand, the Sundogs and the Enforcers going at it. You still scared to hawk?
I'm petrified, Rory. Hold me.
Oh, that'll be the day. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half instead.
Patsy Delgado with the clean version, I guess, of the Bulldog to April Toodle, and April Toodle gets some help from Magnuson to return the favor. And Big Tim Washington, the big nasty, looks like an oak tree shedding some leaves. But Paul Bunyan, Captain America, chopped him down.
The Enforcers have always used intimidation, but tonight they're looking into the face of not only the Sundogs, but ECW wrestlers. Broadway Danny Wolf is with the 2 big men, D'Amato and Washington. Go ahead, Danny.
That's right, Tim and Mark. I mean, Rory's right. Usually you guys are the 2 biggest intimidating factors in the World Skating League, but I gotta say, standing next to Big Sal, you guys look like little kids. Come on now.
You know, this Logue is an idiot. He thinks that he can bring this group of clowns down here to intimidate me. He's got another thing coming. I got the biggest backup man in the business. You guys and your little thing you do means nothing to me. You understand things?
You guys want to play dirty? We're here to clean up your mess. We're going to take care of you and all the mess. You want to go?
I think you're right, Danny. He's had an incredible day. Broadway Danny Wolf, and look at those ECW wrestlers. Tim Washington doesn't back down from anybody. Either does Janet Abraham. She'll be out there for the 3rd period when we get it underway, and she's going against Karen Magnuson and the Enforcers. Stay with us. We're going to have some lunch and be right back. Third quarter about to get underway. The women are on the track. Let's hope we can get through this game without an explosion.
I think I just had one.
Oh, so bad. 15-9, the Sundogs lead this game, and Kara Friedman is out there, along with Kathy Evangelo for the Sundogs, but Courtney Barlow grabs the lead in the jam, and now it's a 2-on-1 situation with the enforcers holding the numbers. Courtney Barlow and Christine Cosson. And Barlow whacks Friedman with the right arm and sends her down. Karen Magnuson and April Toole are waiting for their jammers. And they talk over the strategy of this jam to try and pick up some enforcer points. They trail in this game. They don't like that. There's some strategy right there. Send Janet Abraham into the rail and get the jammers through there. Magnuson's doing a great job. And both Barlow and Cosson picked up a handful.
I got 8 flat.
8 flat. 8 enforcer points gives them the lead all of a sudden. They were down. Now they're ahead 17-15.
You were calling for an explosion, Rory. We just saw an enforcer explosion.
Concentration. You gotta know you're on the track. Let's go.
Kenneth Logue seems to know everything about everything.
Let's go.
Janet Abraham and Patsy Delgado, you saw them there at the top of the screen. They were just shaking hands as though they'd work something up between them. They both have on blockers helmets. Let's see what they have in mind as this period progresses. But if the Sundog women are going to make an impact, it's going to be up to Delgado and Abraham. Right now, Christine Cosson gets out there again, and Kathy Evangelo chases her. Christine Cosson getting a chance to show what she has. But this time, she has a piece of the track as Evangelo gets fire.
And look at the big smile on her face, Rory. You gotta love Kathy Evangelo. She's like a little kid out there. She really enjoys the game, and she's darn good at it, too.
See what Abraham did? She helped her pick up a couple of points. And I would imagine that's what Abraham and Delgado were talking about prior to that jam.
Keep it clean.
It tied the game at 17.
Well, Abraham's just sheer size allows her to, I guess, fit into Kenneth Logue's game plan much better because she's so big and just can play clean. And April Tootle and Courtney Barlow, I don't even know if they saw her coming. It's kind of hard to miss Janet in that big yellow outfit she's got on now. When she had that enforcer black on, against that backdrop, sometimes you can almost like lose her for a second. But in that yellow, she sticks out like a big light bulb.
We're tied up at 17. And once again, Kara Friedman. She's a young skater trying to find her way here in the World Skating League, and you can learn some tough lessons when that's what you have in mind. But Christine Cosson right now is trailing Kara Friedman in this jam. Let's see if she can catch up. We're tied at 17 right now here in the third quarter. Back of the pack, Magnuson and Delgado. And Kara Friedman sneaks through up top. She picked up a couple. Delgado grabs a hold of Cosson and sends her down. Now she has Magnuson from behind. Oh, and Delgado rips Magnuson down to the floor.
Two yellow.
There's an old school move. I don't know if Logue appreciates that kind of play or not. I'm sure in his book, that's good, clean action. Yep, of course. Very nice, he says. When the other team does it, he thinks it's against the rules.
Well, he's got these players trained. You saw Delgado in weeks past, or with teams past, she'd be screaming at the crowd, ripping somebody's jersey off or pulling somebody's hair. She threw her hands up, little smile on her face like, hey, the jam's over, I'm playing clean. Walked over, a couple of high fives for Little Guido, Big Sal, Skull, and Axel Rotten.
Well, that'll put anybody in a good mood, won't it?
Except for me.
19-17.
I'm gonna go high five the ring girl again and thank her.
For what?
Nothing.
19-17. The Sundogs lead it by 2. Suzanne Shalene of the Sundogs knocks down Christine Cosson. Don't they have any other jammers? She's been out every time. And now Shalene against a triple block with Courtney Barlow in the middle. Magnuson and Tootle. Delgado and Abraham break it up. And Shalene gets through to score the points. 3 more Sundog points. And look at Abraham. Delgado's trying to pull her away. This is her first game as a Sundog.
And this is the Sisters of Suffering, where the tire meets the road. Janet Abraham, a former member, with Karen Magnuson and April Tootle. Well, without Janet Abraham in there, they tried to put Courtney Barlow in there, Rory, but it just wasn't the same. And the former Queen Bee of the Sisters of Suffering, along with a little help from Nancy Delgado put a smile. That's kind of a smirk trying to become a smile on the face of that man, Kenneth Logue. Great job for the Sundogs.
It's what you call a humorless smile, and Kenneth Logue is perfect at it.
Turn that frown upside down.
Don't worry, be happy. 22-17. The Sundogs by 5 now. And the final jam of the third quarter underway as Abraham knocks Magnuson down. Janet Abraham out on a jam. Look at that. That black helmet signifies that she's out there to score some points. But she just slowed down because she saw April Tootle coming behind her. And Tootle just grabs her around the neck and throws her down.
Well, Janet Abraham is ill-equipped to be out there, Rory. April Tootle took full advantage of her inability to really have any open track speed.
April Tootle now runs right into Delgado. Abraham sent her in there. And now look out, Patsy.
I got two black.
That's not in the Logue playbook, I thought. It's definitely in the ECW playbook, however. And both teams will be playing for keeps in the final period as Mark D'Amato will try to lead his men's squad against the Sundogs and Bill Barker with the game on the line right now, 22-19 Dogs. Roller Jam, 22-19. The Enforcers are trailing this game. And speaking of humorless smiles, Broadway Danny Wolf is with the ever-smug Kenneth Logue.
That's right, the ever-smug Kenneth Logue. That's what Rory just said. I got to ask you, will you be sending Posse Shalene, one of your star jammers, out on any jams in this last period, Kenneth?
Team discipline is the most important thing we can have on the Sundogs right now. Posse has to learn his place within the system. When he's there, he'll be out.
Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
All right, Mr. Logue. Let's see if he can cost his team another game. Right now they're ahead, 22-19. Fourth quarter. Fourth and final quarter. And here we go. The first jam of the fourth quarter, and out there for the Enforcers is John Morrissey. Morrissey gets out with Jonathan Russell, and now Morrissey's by himself as Russell goes down. Morrissey not what you'd call one of the young guns in this league. And he'll encounter big Bill Barker back there. And Barker has a double block along with Sean Marshall. Marshall and Barker, and Morrissey trying to figure out a way to get through there. It's not going to be easy, John. He's finding that out. Catching from behind.
Oh, he needs some help from... Oh, he gets it!
You're not kidding, he gets it. Washington and D'Amato celebrate. They look right over at those ECW guys and say, what do you think about that?
The skull comes up, you see the double block of Barker and Marshall. I was calling for some help from his friends. Well, when the skull, or when Rocky Bowman does it, they call it the Rock. When Mark D'Amato gets the big lift from Tim Washington, they call it the Angel of Death. And Tim Washington, he's got a little bit to smile about now. He wasn't smiling much at those ECW guys, though, a little while ago, Rory.
Look at these guys. Look at Axel. He's not happy at all with that last play. 22-21. The Sundogs lead this game by 1. And here we go now with the jam number 6, Jonathan Russell for the Sundogs.
And these are two jams. I guess Logue sticking to his word. He has not set out Posse Shalene. If my memory serves me, he was on one jam in the first half, Rory, and these guys just can't compete, these other jammers, without Posse Shalene out there as a jammer once in a while.
That's right. Fred Icorn now looking to get some points and looking to give the Enforcers the lead. They're down by only 1. He got by Barker. Now it comes up to D'Amato, who did not give him a hand. Sean Marshall stops Icorn. D'Amato is sent into the rail by Jonathan Russell. And now Russell goes down hard on that right shoulder. He's grabbing his right shoulder. Let's hope he's not hurt.
I have 3 black points on the play.
3 Enforcer points. No Sundog points. And D'Amato in a scuffle with Barker. Here comes Axel. This was inevitable.
This has been brewing.
Shalene has his shirt off again. Security man running on the track. An absolute, complete, out of control bedlam.
pathetic. And Kenneth Logue's to blame, Roy.
Absolutely. He's the one that invited these guys. We'll have the conclusion when we come back.
You want some more?
Broadway, Danny Wolf, your tough night continues. Who have you got now?
I'm back with Axel Rotten, and Axel, I guess it was just time to take some ECW action.
Hey, I'm not going to take nothing away from these guys. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever stepped with. But if you want to fight hardcore style, brother, that's what ECW is all about. Roller Jam and ECW, we can mix it up anytime because that's hardcore.
Here we go.
Look at Logue. Just standing there with his program rolled up behind him and actually enjoying all of this. Remember when he first came on the scene talking about how he'd clean up all the violence, sex? He hasn't done a very good job with the violence part, has he? 24-22, the Enforcers lead. Two jammers out for the Sundogs. And they're going out there against J.R. Widener of the New York Enforcers. That's number 5. Sigmund Williams on the jam. Tim Washington back there to block for the New York Enforcers. Washington now has 3 Sundogs running at him, but so far he's done a great job to keep the Sundogs off the scoreboard. Can Williams get by Washington? He just picked up one because in there knocking the pack apart is Sean Marshall. And the Sundogs trying to get the lead back. It's almost as though Washington is doing this all on his own.
Oh, no, not again. Poor O'Toole. Welcome to the league, young man. First day in a Sundog outfit, this O'Toole kid. Maybe his last.
Maybe he wants it to be his last. No, here come the wrestlers again. I wish Sean Corbin could just throw them out of the building.
Well, you won't see these two guys in any advertisement for a hair club for men.
No, that's it. That's it.
Washington gets pulled away.
And Tim Washington introduces this O'Toole kid to the World Skating League with a little, I think you might call that taking out the trash. O'Toole wished we wouldn't call it at all, and he's not done. Wow. Corbin, you got to take your hat off to Corbin. He's still getting in there between these guys.
2 skulls wrestling.
When those two guys had their head right next to each other, it reminded me of our card girl.
Oh, yeah? We're tied up at 24. We are tied. There's still a game to be decided here. And Sigmund Williams trying to help decide that for the Sundogs as he gets out there along with Gary Lockamy. And for the Enforcers, Rocky Bowman couldn't quite keep his footing there. So the Sundogs have a chance here with the game winding down to pick up some big points. Williams and Lockamy said a couple of things to each other. Williams glances over his shoulder to make sure there are no Enforcer jammers coming. Tim Washington waits. Bill Barker goes back to help. And the Enforcers really have a chance here to make this their game. Barker took down the whole pack. They got them all. They both got them all. What a move by Barker. He was able to take the feet out from every skater in the pack.
And the new cheerleading squad for the Florida Sundogs, the ECW Get Fresh crew.
Let's go get him.
There's time for one last jam, but the Enforcers are down by 10 points now.
Well, it looked like Posse Shalene and Marshall had set up a double block, and then Captain America just drove all the Enforcers into the back of the pack. Tim Washington got tangled up in there. Then they all just went down. Sigmund Williams does a little jump, and I didn't even need to. I could have almost got through there, Rory. Great job of the Sundogs.
Better get this jam going, and now they do just before the clock had run out. So there's time for one more. One more time, the Enforcers will try to come back, see if they can win this thing. And they send John Morrissey out there, speaking of skulls. And with him goes Sigmund Williams, right with him.
And if Williams can get out in front and call off the jam, Rory, the Sundogs will win.
That's right. He very well could do that. Williams can skate faster than anybody else out here, but Morrissey was able to knock him off his skates. Now Lockheed's chasing Morrison. Can he take care of him? Yes, he can. Morrissey does a great job. And Barker now with D'Amato in front of him, but Morrissey needs 10 points at least. That's a tall order. Barker rips a leg into him and knocks him down. Only 15 seconds left in the jam. He's slow to get up. Morrissey's not getting up.
They're not going to be able to win it.
10 seconds left in the jam. I don't think the enforcers can get there. 3 seconds, 2, and Barker takes out their last hold. The game's over. The Sundogs have the win. Kenneth Logue has his first victory as the coach of the Sundogs. And who does he shake hands first with? The ECW wrestlers.
That's actually Mr. Rotten, first name Axel.
The Sundogs pick up the victory. Suzanne Chalene clapping her hands. Lisa Buckhold celebrating. Logue's happy.
Good job, buddy.
Oh, look at Washington.
We're going to the locker room now. We're going to the locker room.
Broadway, Danny Wolf is with Kenneth Logue.
Thanks, guys. Yes, I'm down in the infield first. One of the worst cheap shots I've ever seen. Tim Washington cracking a bat over your back. How are you feeling, Kenneth?
I feel fine. We won this game. We took it right to their house. Go Sundogs!
That's the first victory under the Logue regime. Axel Rotten, I know you're kind of holding Kenneth up. I know you're not doing too well. I know you're happy you won the game. Axel, tremendous effort by the ECW guys also.
Hey, physically, he might not be doing too well, but I'll tell you what, the right team came out on top. We won this one, and let me tell you, D'Amato, anytime, that's an open challenge from Axel Rotten and ECW. You want to come to ECW, punk? We're going to have this man in my corner, and we're going to take you out ECW style. What about that? Yeah!
Well, that's it from the infield. Big victory for Kenneth Logue, the Sundogs, and ECW Hardcore. Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
I have nothing to say but good night.